Hello everyone, I am the Plane Shifter. He is Lahee Eshkree. We are phasing to the universe of Final Fantasy XIV. And there's a chicken in my face. Now, what are we doing in Gridania? Well, since the excavation of the Crystal Tower is on a bit of a low, Lahee decided to come here, attend the festival. The Hatching Tide. And just have some fun. Let's see. I need to be at the Miketo Amphitheater. Let us walk there. The city was less decorated than I expected, but here is where things are. Good morning, friend. Might you be interested in learning about the Hatching Tide festivities? A fledgling festival, Hatching Tide was born of a prophetic dream visited upon a Gridanian maiden named Jilly Aliapo. In her dream, the 12 archons of old appeared. Those heroes who saved the realm from the destruction of the 60 Umbral Calamity. Descending from the heavens atop beautiful decorated eggs, they say to Jilly, "Arise, young dreamer, and make ready the vessels for our return." And so she did, painstakingly painting and gilding eggs to match those from her vision. Word of the prophecy spread, and Jilly attracted helpers to assist in her toils. After the calamity, the festival grew further, and townsfolk and adventurers flocked to celebrate the Archons of yore, who many believed had some hand in delivering the realm once again. Dreams about eggs created this festival. Will I ever create a festival about a serpent? Well, I'm on the perfect city for that. Well, let's have some fun. In pursuit of excellence. Jilly Aliapo has a great idea to say about Hatching Tide. Hatching Tide is upon us once more. I hope the season finds you in excellent fettle. My name is Jilly Aliapo, and I lead this annual celebration. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. May I ask your name? Lahee Eshkree. Well, Lahee, I hope this is the beginning of a firm friendship. While I have your attention, allow me to expound upon the nature of this year's festivities. Hatching Tide has its origins in the days of the 70 Umbral Calamity, when 12 sages of an era past appeared before me in a startlingly vision. I have been visited by such dreams ever since, and this year's was no exception. I saw a great mass of eggs, as vivid as those before you now, borne aloft into the heavens. Making dreams manifest has never failed to lend wonder to Hatching Tide before. So needless to say, I intend to bring my latest vision to life. Speaking of which, the eggs I commissioned ought to arrive at any moment now. Oh, I guess they just arrived. Oh, Jilly, it's a disaster. The car toppled over in road. Thankfully, the driver wasn't skyted, but I can't say the same for the eggs. Oh, okay, they didn't arrive. Good heavens! I'm glad to hear the poor driver was unharmed, but without the eggs, how are we to break life into my dream? Don't worry, I'll simply fashion some more eggs myself. Though to create the quantity required will take time, and we're already facing at least a minor delay at this point. If I could assign someone to help you, alas, the other dreamers are both busy enough as it is, and I must see to the schedule alterations myself. But wait, Lahee, perhaps you'd be willing to lend a hand? It's a pleasure to meet you, adventurer. I do hope you consider helping us get a Hatching Tide back on track. Sure thing. Wouldn't hate to see the festival go awry. Thank you. The first order of business will be procuring more of the necessary egg supplies from the merchant. Our supplier should be in the market. He's a burly fellow, so he won't be difficult to spot. You can only hope he has enough stock. I'll avoid carts. I'm sorry that I cannot attend to the eggs personally, but your assistance will make all the difference. Thank you. Let's see, a burly merchant. There's our man. Ah, you're the dreamer who was here before, aren't you? Alright, old master, be sure. Afraid I'm all out of the supplies you need, though. Oh, is there really nothing you can do for us? Well, I do have some own odds and ends, surplus wares, might be of use. If you want them, they are all yours. Might not be exactly what you needed, but I'm sure you can cobble something together with ease. The storage fees are eating into my I'd rather say them put to good use. When I ordered an initial batch of supplies, I remember thinking what kind of fellow he was. He certainly proved me right. Anyway, we'd better take stock of what he's given us. Let's see. This ladder looks durable. And you have some metal springs and rings that could do for a mechanism of sort. And this lengths of timber could be cut down to a more portable size. I think these herbs and resins are used to concoct water-repellent alchemical solutions. Never tried it myself, but there's a first time for everything. Besides that, there are plenty of bits and bobs. I should have no trouble when it comes to decoration. Unfortunately, we won't be able to recreate the eggs Julie saw in her dream. With these, we could make something far easier to get off the ground though. Parasols. The trick will be making them look eggy enough. Any rounded object looks like an egg from far enough away, it's science. The shell makes the egg, as they say. Do they say that? Any road, we should paint them. I'm gonna say this. The shell makes the egg, as they say. Do they say that? Any road, we should paint them. You're right, with some festive patterns in the outer canopy and a convincingly egg structure, the parasols might just make for a worthy replacement. Parasols are a sight more fiddly than your standard egg though. With just the two of us, production will take far too long. So you need to enlist further help, just as I did with you. Fortunately, the guild artisans should be less likely to balk at a request for parasol parts than a rush order for myriad eggs, particularly if we supply the materials. Indeed. Let's just first pay a visit to the Letterworks Guild. I'm sure they'll be able to transform our letter into something fit for a canopy. The Letterwork Guild is just around that corner. You must be the adventurer's assistant Nonota spoke of. She was just informing me of her plight. Oh, she's here. I should have talked to her. Many of our apprentices are looking forward to the Hatching Tide celebrations. You shall have to the guild's aid. Although I'm afraid we lack some of the resources needed to work your ladder into parasol canopies. The material is water resistant to a degree, but nevertheless porous. Untreated, it will degrade over time and begin to rot, but our stock of coating is perilously low at the moment. Did anyone have some thing that could help? If it's water repellent you're after, say no more. We just so happen to have the necessary ingredients, so I can see to its preparation. In the meantime, I would take this timber over to the Carpenters Guild and request that they craft a parasol frame. We can meet up by the Black Rabbit Traders stall anon. Roger that. Guild master beating, I presume. Why do you stand there like a frightened child? If you need something, speak. Assorted timber, various lengths of timber ready to be sawn and lathed into parasol parts. Can you turn this in the parasol handle? And you would have us undertake these tasks with how little time left until hatching tide? Very well. The younglings in the acorn orchards wait for the festivities. For their sake, no effort will be spared in the parasol's preparation. We shall commence work right away. Let your associates know that the Carpenters Guild has the matter in hand. Roger that. Thank you very much. I thought everything went well in the Carpenters Guild. It did. They are working on it as we speak. I've just placed an order for the alchemical solution and a few other things besides. The next step will be to piece all the parts together into a prototype parasol. I'll bring the prototype over to Julie once I've finished, so you can go ahead and wait with her. To the amphitheater. Welcome back, Lahee. You'll be pleased to hear that I've adjusted the schedule to accommodate our little mishap, and all is set to proceed. How far are the eggs? They've become less eggy, but more water resistant. Substituting parasols for eggs? What a wonderful idea! I can hardly wait to see what Nonota cooks up for the prototype, though we must. Exceeding expectations. Not expectations, come on! Go all in! Archon Egg Parasol. Finished in a striking yellow and gold trim, this accessory provides exceptional protection against all but the worst downpours. Used to unlock an Archon Egg Parasol. Gilia Leopold is patiently waiting to see the parasol prototype. Nonota will surely be along any moment now. Sorry to keep you both waiting. Allow me to present you with the very first Archon Egg Parasol. What a fine example of ingenuity. It's magnificent. Wait until you see the outside. I'm so glad you approve. With your blessing, I'll begin producing more to distribute. In the meantime, we find ourselves at a loose end. But you cannot let Nonota outstrip us in Hatching Tide spirit. There must be more we can do. Let's show off the parts of the townsfolk. Perhaps you can drum up a crowd with the promise of gifts. Perhaps you can drum up a crowd with the promise of gifts. But of course, we ought to promote our newest addition to the festivities. If we tell even a few Gridanians that this gorgeous accoutrement will be available to those who celebrate with us, word will spread of its own accord. With that in mind, I shall keep mine unfolded and on display. You use your adventurous instincts to identify those most in need of egg-themed accessories. Indeed. Alright. The market's always busy. Let's look for potential celebrants there. I know how this works. Okay. When I think back to the very first Hatching Tide, it's a marvel just how popular the occasion has become. I have so many people to thank for their efforts, yourself included. We dreams are responsible for all the decorations you see through the city. Take that basket over there, for instance. I came up with the idea and Nonota worked her magic to create the final product. Cool. Excellent. I say, madam, you must tell me where I might acquire a resplendent parasol like unto your own. At our Hatching Tide event, of course. How about it? Will you join us at the amphitheater? I'd be delighted. As a true connoisseur of eggs, both decorative and edible, I attend annually in hopes of glimpsing a ovoid perfection. And this parasol surpasses my ever imagining. Such elegance, such eggness. He really likes eggs. Holy. Why, that parasol is an absolute delight. It's not often that you see that level of craftsmanship paired with such decorative flair. This might be the finest egg-inspired apparel I've ever seen. Might I ask who was responsible for this masterpiece? The Letterworks Guild, the Carpenters Guild, Black Rabbit Traders, and our Dreamers all had their parts to play. And if you join us in celebrating Hatching Tide, you can receive one just like it. I should have known that the guild's artisans were involved. If it means getting my hands on a parasol, I'd be more than happy to take part in the festivities. I mean, it is a great parasol. Egg enthusiast. Heavens above! Is that adorable parasol fashioned after an Archon egg? Exquisite, isn't it? If you join us at the amphitheaters, you receive one just like it. For years I have searched for a parcel as darling as an egg, getting sunburned and soaked by turns, and you offer me one free of charge. This is a hashing tide miracle. I expect us three will tell all sundry about our parcels. Our work here is done. They were really more enthusiastic than I ever expected, that's for sure. We did it. Well, that went rather swimmingly. You clearly have an eye for egg connoisseurs. Just look for the people that had the eyes on eggs. I shall go and see how many attendees are gathered at the amphitheaters. Feel free to join us when you have a moment. Let's moment it now. That didn't make any sense. Let's see. The moment is now. Okay, that is an actual phrase. The folks you gathered certainly are enthusiastic about showing off their parcels. Fortunately, no one yet lost an eye. Look, Lahee, isn't the sight of those parcels simply marvelous? Indeed. Eggs held aloft, just as in my dream. Hooray, we did it, Chili! We certainly did. Shall we officially declare this hatching tide a success? Hold that thought, you've yet to see the half of it. Do I know you? Myzenta, I'm not quite sure I follow. Quite a few of my customers asked about your parcels, more than I can comfortably gather here, in fact. Nevertheless, I took the liberty of handing out stock to those who came inquiring. With how many left my stall with a smile on their faces and parasol in hand, the whole city is awash with floating eggs. That's incredible, to think the parasols are bringing joy even beyond their celebration. Neat. Wait, Jelly, they're one and the same, aren't they? The celebration has spread across the city, reborn by a great mass of floating eggs. You're right! I was intending on gathering people here, but the eggs in my dream were far too numerous to contain in one place. They were always meant to be seen far and wide. That original plan met with misfortune was a blessing in disguise, for we've touched the hearts of more people than I'd dare to imagine. There is no doubt in my mind. This will go down as a hatching tide to remember. Black Rabbit traders shall continue distributing parasols to those who ask. They may be free of charge, but they're drawing business in spades. Nonota told me how to assemble them, so I can prepare as many as necessary. Truly, where would we be without your ingenuity, Nonota? I couldn't have done it without our able adventurer. And that reminds me, I have something for you, Lahee. the ring. Don't punch anyone with this thing. Unless they are evil. That's the very second parcel I ever made. After Jilly's, of course. I thought it fitting that you receive it. Oh, thank you very much. With eggs aloft across the city, all that is left is to enjoy the festivities. Your work may have finished, Lahee, but Hatching Tide most certainly hasn't. Yay! Problem para-solved. Neat. Cute. To think I'd end up with one of these delightful parasols all for myself. You and your associates are so generous. Enjoy! Yellow Moon and Woodland Host. She's still a sparse. To make sure to weave. Okay, I wanna read it. What they're saying. Such stylish parcels. This puts me in the mood to weave. To make sure to weave one that matches my complexion. Teehee. So this is the weaver's guildmaster, and this is Yellow Moon. We met her a lot in Hildebrand. Let's see if we can find more. More Easter eggs. I appreciate it. This parasol is truly the peak of ovoid aesthetics. Timing my visit to coincide with Hatching Tide was a fine idea indeed. You sound Guardian. When I laid eyes upon this parasol, its quality spoke loud and clear. A triumph of design, both practical and decorative. It's not often that I find an article so worth of my discernment. When Anata first relayed the awful news, I wondered how we could possibly salvage the situation. But now I can see I needn't have worried. This has exceeded our expectations. Thank you, Lahee. Maybe you should have worried, because that's how we get to solutions sometimes. Adventures, I had such fun preparing the parasols with you. I'll be forever grateful for all your help. My pleasure. So, apparently till here I will only see these two dudes. But probably with my main character there will be more people. And no, I haven't done this on my main character yet. It started today, this event. It was for a while. Well, that was fun. Time to return to Mordona and check with the Sons of Saint Koinak. See if Noah made done any advancements. Oh. How convenient that I got a parasol. Why we only have parasols and no pararains? Complicated questions that probably don't have a good answer. Let's go look for questions that actually have answers. Like, what the heck is inside the crystal tower? Hey, how goes the investigation? Circus Towers. Ambrose is frustrated over Noah's lack of progress on the Crystal Tower. You don't seem pleased. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Indeed. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say that there is nothing worthwhile to report. The Sons continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients and every day bring new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially. In like manner, the entryway to the principal spire, Circus Tower, the elegant called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Seems to be the default with elegance. Sid and I have tried everything we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry to the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It will require time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance? And you are? Be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I am Monet, and my companion is called Doga. We are scholars of the elegant civilization, sent by the students of Baldesion to assist in your endeavor. Hmm. Unei and Doga. Rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at students' behest, but we have received not a word of your coming. I am sure you will not take a major fee, seem somewhat doubtful. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. Hmm. What is it, Graha? Ugh, it is nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. If there was a pain, then it's not nothing. Well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. The same? You have the elegant eye as well? The sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the elegants, yet I inherited it from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of this manifestation. If there is aught to know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. One thing is certain, those who possess the trait are bound by fate to Alag. As you has placed you upon the path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. They don't have red eyes. It seems to me you have not to lose yourself between their aids. What say you? I mean, just be careful, and let's see. We are at a loss, right? If that is your wish, then so be it. Yet note that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldesion when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well, as of this moment, I name Unei and Doga advisory members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the Circus Tower entrance. I promise you will not have cause to regret your decision. Lahee, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany your new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedges are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. Roger that. I shall join you, Lahee, with Unei and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion. I am hopeful that we will finally see progress. Yeah, they're not here. We're examining the rubble in the hopes that it will yield a clue to enter the Circus Tower. Can you tell we're getting desperate? I mean, it is elegant technology. Well, if it isn't Lahee, eager to enter Circus Towers and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard, though the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friend from the students, you say. Excellent. It will be slow going, or rather no going, for the cheap. You will appreciate the help. If you just follow me, I'll take you to him. Ah, some old fences to lift the spirits, and a couple of new ones besides. This lighting is making their lips so strange. It looks like they're wearing glass. Allow me to introduce you to Wune and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alag, sent here by our friends of Baldazian to aid in the investigation. They changed the lighting engine recently. I do not know if they got to the Crystal Tower cutscenes to do like a retouch pass. Probably not. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. This is our hope that we can be of some small assistance. If your attire is out to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Circus Towers, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is, we can't get it to open. It is sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. Very good seal, huh? For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective as a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman, respectant, elegant royalty by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, 'tis purely decorative. If you're thinking to force it, save it or your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? Wait, didn't you just activate the gate with a generic all-purpose ether beam? I don't think any of us expected that to happen. Seven hells, what is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Its virtue is guarded by gates impregnable only to those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. I knew I found you. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. I thought you were familiar. I should have paid attention at my guts. Nero, you're still alive? Garland. If I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Ha! But I jest. In light of a recent meeting, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is, for all intents and purposes, defunct, and my association with it means a tight nose waits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land, Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the courses of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts. But I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I'll share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was a symbol of ancient Alag, might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Alagan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. Explain yourself. To put it plain, these are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Alagan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? It would seem that the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apologies. It was not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it pleases you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. This is weird. Very well. How did they know? 7 hells. Do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garlon. You know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An elegant tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you. And a deal more besides. It used to be jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it is yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. We may not have gotten off to the best of starts, but the past is in the past. Yeah. Yesterday's enemies can yet be today's friends. Do you not agree, Warrior of Light? I'm gonna keep an eye on you. Do you think the elegants could make copies of people? If this knowledge were to fall into the wrong hands, the world would become a terrible place. I shudder to imagine a dozen pigs shouting at me all day long. The Chief and Nero go all the way back to the Magitech Academy. It's an exclusive school situated in the capital, reserved for the Empire's brightest elite. I don't know the nitty-gritty details, but they didn't get along back then. And they don't get along now. Fate's a bastard for bringing them together again. Kinda felt some bad blood. It goes without saying that Nero can't be trusted. We to do well to keep an eye on him at all times. I'm on it. Let us hear what Une and Daga have to say. It will not be too late to decide upon a course of action afterwards. You have every right to mistrust us, but I beg of you to hear us out. Long have we waited for this opportunity to fulfill our life's purpose. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader, Ambrose, may wish to be present. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldesion. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, giving life through elegant technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created, and more specifically, what it is that you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allagan history. Pray bear with us. The Allagan Empire reshaped its sanity long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as the symbol of the Allagan pride. Parents took their children there, and they might learn how the night limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. The decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allagan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and the frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful states of affairs, one technologist made its missions to restore Allag to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the alien empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than his founding father. Sorry. Whom he sought to resurrect. Oh, the similarities with reality. The founding father, you cannot mean Emperor Zande? None other. As part of his experiments, Samon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are products of that experiment, copies of Unei and Doga. Historical text mentions the reigns of two Allagan emperors named Zande. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike. To think that two were in fact one and the same. Aye, Zande returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Amon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world within Allagan domination, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Zande turned his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness again, seven hells. What is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Galland. Alas, Emperor Zande is very much alive. Within Circus Towers, he still abides his ambition, burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amount of energy. Energy that not even the Circus Towers could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blink of an eye, the mighty Allagan Empire was laid to waste. Yet, even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Xander's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structures the Emperor included was placed in a deep slumber. In that state they were to remain until time was ripe to awaken. And let me guess, the time is now? Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamut was summoned back to Earth. Its descent triggered the 70th Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Xander awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. It is for no other purpose but to put an end to Xander's madness that we exist. This is the mantle that we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Unei and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xander, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. It is no ordinary man who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Lahee Eshkree, we are confident that we can end Xander's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that will teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the studies of Baldesion among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So what will we do, Lahee? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. Well, we beat the crap out of everything inside Circus Tower as we were planning. That will include Xander, of course. You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allagan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allagan civilization. But what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think of that the tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, the quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Unei and Doga, living, breathing Allagans. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never come to the light of day. Lahee, as you did for us within the labyrinth of the ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate the hostile elements. Suffice to say, this includes Emperor Xander himself. As I said, I'm willing. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Towers from the outside world, to work them. Wait, there is something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, you said. You know that clowns are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The elegant eye, you called it, but to us it is the royal eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Isn't your ancestor Graha? Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. Though their names do not appear to have survived the passage of time, Doga and One were worthy individuals. They were not without faults, but they placed the welfare of the people above all else. When Zande was resurrected, they reported his second ascension to the throne in hopes that the empire would flourish once more under his leadership. They supported his second ascension to the throne under his leadership. When it came to light that Zande was consorting with dark powers, they did all within their powers to stop him. Among their many acts, they imbued us with two humble clones with their will. Within Circus Towers, you encounter clones who share our appearance. Totally two were created in the image of Duga and Une. They are but empty husks bereft of independent will. Their sole purpose is to eliminate intruders. Striking down spitting images of Une and myself may give you pause, but you must not let that stay your hand. Noted. So what's the next step? My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I'm quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Circus Towers await us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Xander himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. What crystal? There's plenty here. And Heidelin too. Circus Towers now accessible. Woohoo! Time to go to the circus! Alright. Alright. The truth of my eye is on my mind, but right now every man of us has a job to do. Rest assured, I can't allow myself to be distracted. Katie, have nothing else to say. Do you mean too far away? Circus Tower. The chicken was for hatching tide. Having secured a path through the labyrinth of the ancients, the Fellowship of Noah finds itself before the entrance of the Crystal Tower proper. With the aid of the newcomers, Unei and Doga, the companions succeeded in opening the gate whose workings had baffled even the brightest minds among them. Upon learning that dark forces have awakened within, the Fellowship decides to suspend the investigative effort in favor of sealing off the tower. You must fight your way to the apex and defeat the resurrected Emperor Zande, that Eorzea might be free of his all-consuming ambition. Alright. Let's do it. Ooh, more than 30 minutes. I don't believe you. Probably will take 20 minutes as well. Well, while we wait... Did I say 20 minutes? It didn't take 5. So we are Alliance C again. We should not have summoned the Ifrit. Probably run out of time for the spell. Mistakes were made. Yep. Oh, no, I'm not targeted, okay. So whoever is targeted by the purple spheres needs to bring them to those pillars of light. Oh, and here I am. I'm just gonna bring it to this one. There we go. Now it's a good time to bring Ifrit. Okay. So this targeted by the icy balls will be frozen. There is no escape. But some are being targeted by fireballs. They can unfreeze them. Which not always happens. Oh. What happened with my fireball? Did I hit someone that was like super far away? How good this looks. Eh. Go. Okay, at least I got one spell off. The other one I will lose. So I think this guy has mechanics. I have no idea what they are, and everybody just ignores them. Brasilia Legolas. And there are the mechanics. You cannot really... Ah, so that's how they work. Did they change this? I usually just ignore that stuff. Just want this for glam. I have better gear than this, than it's dropped in this place. Ow! Well, I'm gonna fight fire with fire. Inert. I was going to say wind too, but then he died. This one is going by rather quickly. I'm on... I don't really know what happens when the ghoul reaches him. Okay, that orb make things small. You want to hit an add with that. And there are not many ads. People are becoming frogs. Guess who likes sweet frogs? Okay. So some people got frozen. He's gonna cast Curtain Call. If you're not behind the ice, you're dead. Let's save the other summons. Great. Yeah. You fight valiantly, mortals, but to no avail. The absolute darkness draw nigh, soon will be unleashed, and thou shalt perish or something. Okay. Guess one DPS DC'd and we lost some. Yeah. This should not be a problem. I'm ready. Are you gonna? Okay. All right. We either were very fast at defeating all these or huge damage. We were fast enough. We're gonna summon right now. Yeah. More Starfall. Kind of want remain stacked so all the AoE are together. Like if you get caught in that you die, but it's a lot easier to dodge. Life is a circus. There we go. Combination 2, the only one. I want the music, I don't want this. I want the minion. I'll greet the rest. What in the 7th house? Lahee! Well, Zend is dead, but things are getting weird. You did it! You defeated Emperor Zend! Empires may rise and fall, but man's indefatigable spirit ever lives on. Truly, you are the champion we had hoped for, Lahee Eshkree. With Emperor Zend now at eternal rest, his dark legacy may be undone. Why are you in full armor? What are you playing at now, Nero? In case you haven't noticed, Garland, these are dangerous rounds. Can a man be faulted for exercising due caution? Yeah, I can't argue with that. At any rate, you needn't mind me. I am perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go on and finish what you came to do. There are two ways that we may seal Circus Tower. Either isolate it from the outside world or cripple its ability to produce energy. The choice of method is yours to make. Before you proceed, however, Doug and I must needs attend to a task. Is that a void gate? That distortion, what is it? I've seen void scent in the labyrinth. The power that scent sought to obtain comes from the void, the word of darkness, our people called it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Voidsent. Now everything comes together. Voidsent feed on ether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for their allegiance, Zende entered into an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Voidsent could freely enter our world. The covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Lunay and I believe that we can annul it. By his blood, Zende sealed his dark pact. By our blood, it shall be undone. It is time. Yes, Doga, finally, we may fulfill our purpose. Oh, be still, my beating heart. For a moment I feared that this outing would end in disappointment, but my readings were not mistaken. Not even the Ultima weapon compares to this. What are you going on about? Why is he here even? The covenant is everlasting. Oh, not now. And so Menacedia is brought unto the fold. Soon all of the world shall be united under Allagan rule. And yet, with every dream that becomes a reality, the memory of death grows ever more vivid, an endless void bereft of light and warmth. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will, you cannot fathom my rage, my melancholy, my fear. What worth is wealth and power when all must inevitably be consigned to nothingness? If a man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So let there be nothing. Harvest more power, that the gate may be thrown full open. Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes, and dreams. Let all be returned to nothingness. Lahee, pull yourself together. Is there no end to them? What in the seven hells is happening? Ah! Not you, Chew. Not now, damn it. Nero, were they part of your grand plan too? Save your japes, Garland. I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with worthless clones. Something controls them. A void scent, and no ordinary one at that. Doga! Oh no. Confound it. Without them there is no way to master the darkness. That power is mine! Nero! That was reckless to the extreme. He doesn't even have a weapon. The Covenant shall be honored. I am the cloud of darkness. I shall devour your light and return this world to the void. Oh no. At least that problem is solved. Now we have a much bigger one. Damn it. The rift is gone. What are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to live without them, there is precious little we can do. Let us return to the Find and consult the Rambros. Very well. Hey. Well, everybody's over there. I appreciate the attention and all, but don't you have better things to do than shadowing me? Oh, come on. Ambrose may know a way to bring our friends back. Let's consult him without delay. Everyone's been in a dark mood since returning. I think the mission didn't go well. Kind of did and didn't. I feel as though it's that I'm forgetting something important, but for the life of me I cannot remember what that something is. How this happened within the tower? Gods preserve. And the rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate. Of this I am certain. There exists myriad of kinds of void scent. The more powerful the being, the larger the gate must be for it to pass through. It would seem that Zende sought to open a gate of unprecedented proportions, one that would allow this cloud of darkness entry into our world. Fortunately for all mankind, he did not succeed. I shudder to imagine that what this void scent is capable of. However dreadful it may be, we can't abandon our friends. Is there no way to save them? I will not lie to you, Master Garland. The situation is bleak. Though void scent can enter our world, instances of men entering the void have never been documented. It pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not even know whether our friends still live. Damn it, I feel so helpless. No, I refuse to give up. We must save Duga and Ane. You have an idea? We share the same eye, it is true, but that is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them fulfill their mission. A mission whose burden they have borne for thousands of years, and besides, we cannot leave matters as they are. So long as Zend's dark covenant is binding, our world is in danger. It is our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass. Graha, ever since meeting Yone and Doga, you have not quite been yourself. Tell the truth. Tell me true. Is all well with your eye? I honestly cannot say. I know only that there is a memory that I must recall. As a child, my father told me that the truth of our eye rests with Alag. The answer eludes me still, but one day I will find it. I am with Graha. However slim the odds, we must try to save One and Doga. Aye, and that bastard Nero as well, if only to make certain that he won't make any more mischief. You have the right of it. Though we have known them but briefly, Doga and One are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts and literature both. I swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet know that it may be a while before we are ready to act. I would ask that you all be patient. When dealing with the void, one cannot be cautious enough. My thanks again for your assistance. Pray rest now while you can. For when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be at no less than full strength. We'll save them yet, Lahee. Mark my words. Understood. That's way quicker than I expected. I'll suggest checking with the Thaumaturge guilds. They do have a lot of experience with void scent. Being born with one red eye, I did not have the most pleasant of childhoods. You know what they say, children can be cruel. And the result being that I grew up determined to uncover the truth of the trait. Much and more yet remains beyond my knowing, but one thing certain. The nearer I draw to the heart of the Crystal Tower, the more I am convinced that an important memory eludes me. Void gates and the like are the Thaumaturge's domain. Engineers like me and the Wedge are out of our depth. Having said that, we are not entirely useless here. The working of the Crystal Tower itself are a language we understand. If there's something to decipher, we mean to decipher it. Good. Even without Dalamod in the heavens, the Crystal Tower is capable of generating vast amounts of energy. It's only a matter of time before the Void Gate is to open fully. Knowing this, Nero used us in order to secure safe passage to the tower's apex. Though I doubt that any of us fell for his ruse, we'll let the scoundrel do as he pleased nonetheless. Deep down, we all want to believe that man can change for the better. Yeah. It's just my humble opinion, but men like Emperor Zende wouldn't leave anything to chance. Before he arrived at the tower's apex, he would have completed his preparations to open the Void Gate. That's why the gate manifested so soon after you defeated him, and poor Une and Dolga were sucked in. Thoroughness and the lust for nihility make for a dreadful combination. Here. So I kinda want to leave the next part of the Crystal Tower for the next stream. So let's see. Maybe I can do one of these, maybe? I can talk to Alice. Alice, would like to introduce you to someone? Your reputation precedes you, Lahee. In fact, it is for that reason that I'd like to introduce you to someone. That minstrel at the end of the bar wandered in here the other day. Said he was seeking inspiration for a new ballad, the sort only an adventure of distinction could provide. Who better than the man who saved the world to give this minstrel the stories he seeks, huh? Who were the gentlemen, they say? Down may banish even the darkest night, yet ever shall primal desires burn. 2 swords shall vie to lay them low, a blade born of light and a blade horn of might. Alas, many men may twist his fate unto but one. Lest you wonder, these are the words of Archon Louisois. Wise not written as poetry, I find poetry within them nonetheless. Years ago, when I arrived in this land, I was beset with peril day and night, forced to endure countless trials which tested my mind, my body, and my faith. And I am not ashamed to admit that I would have faltered had it not been for the help of a handful of nameless adventurers. Honest men and women who proffered the hand of friendship to a weary soul and led him safe from the darkness. When I look upon you, I am reminded of them. I can tell that you are well traveled and possessed of both constancy and character. You are a man of the adventuring profession, yes? Indeed. I seek a valiant hero whose deeds might serve as inspirations, and I have reason to believe I have found him. After all, was it not you who faced Giles Van Bowser and his elegant weapon? You must tell me everything that happened. Omit not a single detail, I beg of you. Well, sit down, it's a long story. Truly a tale worth of legend, and so yearly it matches the writings of Archon Louisois. 2 swords shall vie to lay them low, a blade born of light and a blade forged of might. Alas, man may entrust his fates unto but one. The Black Wolf was a conqueror who aspired to rule through might, and the weapon was key to his ambitions. Yet, in the end, the people of Eorzea entrusted their fates to a brilliant blade, the Warrior of Light. A rather fitting moniker, in my humble opinion. People are really calling me that. Thank you, at least I have found the inspiration I sought. A battle to decide the fate of a realm. The words, the notes, I feel them coming together. Your tale, Lahee Eshkree, your song. From an era long forgotten, a blade of midnight drum, from a distant land uncharted, a warrior who bears the down. Ultima's Bane. Really? I need to actually do the confrontation? Didn't expect that. That's bad, it's yeah, he unlocks ultimates and high-end stuffs. We're not doing that. There you go. Maybe eventually, but not today. Not. I'm just gonna hide that quest and pretend I never got it. But I don't want to abandon it either. Why the 7 heaven, you ask? Because no one would drink in the 7 hell. He also considered naming it Cloud 9, but that felt a bit effeminate for your clientele. Fair. I'm gonna run a leveling roulette. And call it a day. While you do that, while you wait, let's do fate. How much for this one? 10 minutes. 10 minutes as well. Let's fight the boss. Well, I have enough seals for what I wanted. Oh yes, yes, I'm kind of forgetting, but this is an extra. String is basically over. So yeah, next Saturday, no, next Sunday at 7 p.m. GMT +3. I'll be playing more Planet Crafters. Final Fantasy XIV will be back next Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. GMT +3. If you've been watching me on Twitch, I do have a YouTube channel with all my VODs. If you've been watching me on YouTube, you can check me live on Twitch. And if you are leaving now, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna still going on for a while because I want to at least hit like 2 hours and a half or something like that. Boy. Oh, not the marble. I'm in trouble. Okay, I'm in less trouble. Okay. Nice timing. Ooh. Uh, Templebee has a one-hit kill. This guy is pulling everything. Am I attacking Soulstone? Yes. Will he bring everything to the boss chamber as well? I have no instance right now. Oh, he can't. Oh, come on. This is an interesting... You think change this? This is different. I think they added the NPC support and the... This fight is better than the... What the heck? Why is he there? This fight is way more interesting than the previous one. Usually the fights get dumber. Okay, you get a commendation, thank you, because that was interesting. Alright. And that gets our stream with a decent time. Or so. Let me go to a safe place. Where is the seventh heaven? There we go. I'll probably not be here, but by next stream, but still gonna stay there. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I am the Plane Shifter, and I am phasing out. Bye.